You are watching Shoutcraft, exciting entry-level esports commentary with myself, Total Biscuit. Yes, indeed, folks, welcome to Shoutcraft, bringing you this series from the Europe vs. America tournament, sponsored by SteelSeries and Starcraft-Source.com. Duckload Ra, aka WhiteRa, in the red trunks, playing Protoss to the west of the map right here, and pretty close. It's, of course, the one and only Machine, playing the stylish pink Zerg over here. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the SteelSeries tournament. As says Toss, it's a handy replay, that. You know, if I could just have someone say that in every one, that would avoid me having to say it, which would be absolutely wonderful. Hey, whatever. You know, it's very important to make sure that your sponsors are happy, folks. Has to happen. If you don't do that, you're doing it wrong. There we go. Fantastic. Very important. Sponsors are the lifeblood of esports. If you don't have them, and if you annoy them, then they tend to not give you money, which is problematic when you're looking for a solid pro scene. Okay, WhiteRa, what are you going to build? Are you going to build me a pylon? Sounds exciting. I'm happy about that. What are you going to build next? Two Overlords popping out here for... Okay, we've got two Overlords machined, and he's going to have a look and see what he can see skating on over. So very, very casual about the whole affair. These are what I like to call the Candy Floss Overlords. The nice little pink mist going on right there. Or there could be Glade plug-in Overlords, which would be a little odd. It's air freshener, Zerg air freshener. Anything wrong with that? Well, probably. I imagine it doesn't really go so well for the sensors of the Terran, but hey, it's Protoss. They probably can't smell anyway. Do Protoss have noses? That's a good question. I don't know this, and I'm going to find out once he builds an actual Zealot. In the meantime, he's got a single assimilator coming up with a gateway, so no big surprises there. And his opponent, instead of deciding to go with a fast expansion, which is when you expand fast, folks. Shocking, I know. He might be building one right now, though. You never know. He's looking for it, possibly. Yes. Going to build one after his spawning pool and not before. Sometimes you'll go straight in there, but it's a little bit risky considering how close they are on this particular map. And, of course, early Zealot aggression could put a swift end to that one, so you might want to avoid it. Oh, yes, actually, there we go. Does he have a nose? He doesn't have a nose, see? So they can't actually smell the Zerg air freshener, so there you go. Simon X core being set up right here, and it's a good setup as well. You notice that he is creating a very narrow choke point in which he can pop a Zealot to try and block things off, but it's not going to stop Machine from having a look-see in his base. He's already looking around with an Overlord, and he's got a probe in there for good measure. So, it's not a probe. What the hell am I talking about? That's a drone. It's the same thing, folks. Just one of them looks like some kind of demented flatfish, and the other one looks like a little chibi anime robot. Ugh, chibi anime robots. How do they work? Looking for a chase-off right here. 2 Zerglings, says Machine. I will build 2 Zerglings. And I might follow them off with some more Zerglings. And I want to take your probe, because the probe stole the minerals. I'll have to wonder what the prison sentence is for stealing 5 minerals. Mandatory 25 to life, perhaps, in the Zerg prisons. And by 25 to life, I mean I'm just going to eat you. They don't really go in for real justice over there, honestly. It's not high up their priority list. Are we going to get some early game aggression here from WhiteRa? It's not looking all that likely. I mean, he does have a single Zealot out there to look around and see if he can do any real damage to his opponent, which right now he's not doing a huge amount of, I must say. At least manages to take a Zergling out for it, so that's not bad. But here comes the nice placement of, yes indeed, the Spine Crawler, which will slice up that Zealot if it decides to go anywhere near. Which it might. He's sending in a probe to take the initial hit from that. So, not going to be a problem, but then he hasn't got his Spine Crawler up at the minute anyway. Put a bit of aggression on that Queen. Can't really do the damage to it, though, at the moment. The probe's getting driven off. Into the middle of the line goes the Zealot. Is he going to be able to take it out? Not with the backup of the drones, he certainly isn't. Good damage in there to the Queen, but the Queen's going to be protected by her loyal drones. Look at that nice little bit of micromanagement there, dancing those drones around. Oh, he needs to get away. Queen needs to get the hell away. Uh-oh, there you go. Splat, says the Spine Crawler. We're not having any of that nonsense, thank you very much. Almost took it. If he had a little bit more backup, that Queen would have been devastated, especially if he had 2 Zealots up there, but it's not going to happen. There you go, Metabolic Boost. It's the speed upgrade coming in for those little Zerglings. That will help him a little bit here, but look at that. I mean, it's a nice little setup. It's going to be difficult to stream Speedlings in there. That said, it will help him in catching his opponent out in the open and doing big damage to him there. Lair upgrade coming up right here for Machine. This is in for the long haul by the looks of it. Forces pretty evenly matched right now. Ra with his expansion as well, setting up for some long-term economics. He's also got a Forge coming up. Why would he build his forge there? Well, again, looking to restrict the movement of incoming Zerg. 3 Zerglings coming around, they're going to have a little bit of a peek, and they're going to be torn apart by those sentries right now. Building a lot of sentries, why is he doing that? Well, it's a fairly common strategy if you are building a expansion this early on in the game. You build some sentries, and the sentries will help you out there. It will allow you to restrict the movement of your opponent and prevent harassment. It's very useful. Oh no, Zergling. I'm thinking no. That's a nasty little stain there. It's going to take a while to get out. WhiteRa moving in with aggression. He's got 4 Stalkers and 4 Sentries up against 5 Zerglings and a Spine Crawler. A second one is on its way. There's a Queen sitting there as well. Oh, he's got a second one there already. There you go. Bit of ranged harassment. Try to bring it down. Can he do it? Not with the Speedlings around there. But the question is, it comes down really to WhiteRa's ability to block off those Speedlings using those force fields. And let's be honest, this is Ra we're talking about. Ra is pretty good at what he does, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, which is why Machine's not bothering to chase him with those Zerglings. He knows exactly what's going to be happening. He's going to get himself trapped in an unfortunate situation and get gunned down by those ranged units. Here comes the Forge, folks, with an upgrade. Why do you take that? Well, it's pretty simple, because it allows you to kill Zerglings much faster. Robotics facility going up there as well. Ra is really playing a little bit of SimCity right here. You can see he's not even bothering to build here. Wants to protect that expansion with everything he possibly can, and that involves using buildings as well. Machine looking for a little bit of aggression, but he's not going to find it, let's be honest. He's not going to be able to slide his way in there. He's going to need an awful lot more firepower than that. Roach is on the way with Glial Reconstruction. Give him a little bit of speed. And we've also got Twilight Council coming up for WhiteRa. What's the economy looking like right now? Pretty equal, honestly. Not too bad at all on either side. Ra and Machine both sitting on, as far as I can tell, 2 gas at the moment. But they do have more on the way. There we go. Machine with his roaches, ready to pounce. File Reconstruction and Burrow very soon. Once he gets those tunneling claws, he'll be able to sneak underneath his opponent and do massive damage that way. Wow, look at Machine's creep. He really is going all out with spreading that, isn't he? Not too bad at all. Small force of Zerglings hanging out there looking to avoid any kind of flanking attack. You could potentially sneak in there and do a lot of damage, but EG Machine looking to head his way in there with 16 roaches. It's a lot of firepower, folks. It might do the job. He's sitting up against 10 Stalkers and 4 Sentries. It's going to be heavy casualties on either side. 20 on the way as well, and he'll be able to back them up with Speedlings. Ra's going to have to do an awful lot to defend against this. The Speedlings are very limited in the way that they can move. The defense is set up in a very, very cautious manner, and that Forge upgrade just in there. A little bit of bad timing there for Machine as he comes in right there. He wants to take out the pylon. Is he going to get it? Shields are down on the pylon. Another volley will take it out. Doesn't want to risk it, though. There's a lot of Stalker firepower backing him up right there. That's going to do a lot of damage to those roaches, so he's going to back off for the time being. It's a shame, actually. He could have taken that pylon with very minimal risk, and as you can see right here, that would have actually shut that Forge down. But there you go. A little bit too late to avoid the upgrade, nonetheless. Forces moving backwards. Ra trying to drive away those Overlords, doing a good job of it. Doesn't want any of those nasty little critters in his base. Regardless of whether or not he can smell them, they're just nasty. Hydralisks coming up for Machine as well. The Hydras will tear through those Stalkers in a very effective and efficient manner. Question is, what is Ra going to do to counteract that? He's mostly relying on Stalkers and Sentries right now. Can he simply outnumber his opponent? Really, no. Honestly, not right now. But look at that. Second expansion. Really? Not gonna happen, says Machine. No, I think not. So I'm just going to burrow one of those right here. We'll dump a pylon there for good measure. It's a sneaky little play. Look at that. You got one there as well. Very, very good. Machine manages to restrict the expansion of his opponent. And Ra's probably a little annoyed by that. Do you blame him? Do you blame him? Machine, that is a potent, potent attack force. Look at what he's got. He has 24 roaches, he's got 10 hydras, and he's got 16 zerglings to back them up. A lot of aggression. A very dangerous force. He's going to outnumber Ra very significantly here, and he has a good mix. He'll be able to deal with it. He's also got 2 evolution chambers coming up, and a spire. Upgrades are on their way, folks. Initial scouting force of Speedlings taking casualties. WhiteRa uses his blink right there to take out a couple more, but he didn't show. This is the critical thing here. Machine did not show the bulk of his forces to WhiteRa, and WhiteRa is not entirely sure. I mean, look at that. He doesn't have an awful lot of scouting right there, so he's not sure, but here's the meat. Oh, yes, and WhiteRa, this can only go one way. WhiteRa realizes that, attempts to back off to a defensible position. Does he have anything to flank it with? No, he really does not, so big damage coming in right here. Stalker nailed down near the statue. flanking attack coming in, and additional warp in. Blink right into the middle there. Good focus fire. This is just an absolute massacre on both sides right there. The sentry shields are able to take a lot of damage away from those Hydralisks. It's good stuff. More warp points coming in right here, but slowly but surely, Ducklord Ra's forces are being nailed down. It's good sentry play, able to at least eliminate a little bit of the ranged firepower there, and good blink once again by Ducklord Ra. Good casualties on both sides, or indeed bad casualties on both sides, but Ducklord Ra's lost an awful lot more so far, and that's going to not play in his favor at all. Corruptors on their way, folks. Corruptors. Corruptors? What are you doing with them? Well, I can think of a few things. No aircraft coming out right now, so that can only really mean one thing. We're going to build them simply for the sake of going straight into Broodlords, but he doesn't have a hive right now. Does he have the money for a hive right now? He does have the money for a hive right now. Is he looking for a hive upgrade right now? Not yet. He's still got his lair right there, so not until he feels safe, I would imagine. Templar Archives coming up. That'll be good. No doubt about that. Psystorm's in a nice big bunch of those. Bearing in mind, Hydralisks don't actually have that much in terms of HP. They're pretty glass cannonish. You know, they're just like giant squidgy marines, really. That's all I can say. Force of Hydralisks versus a force of Stalkers. That would be messy for the Hydralisks, but additional backup coming in from a small contingent of Roaches right there, looking for harassment. This will be good. This will be good. A lot of big firepower coming in, but once again, Ra with 21 Stalkers flanking in from the side, inflicting big damage on the Roaches right there. Needs a lot more firepower than that, and the full force of the Hydralisks being brought to bear on the Stalkers, but it's not good, actually. Ducklord Ra has the numbers right now, and good management is bringing down those Hydras very, very fast indeed. The shields are holding. No doubt about that. And a blink straight into the middle. They're not escaping, folks. No doubt about that. Machine's going to lose all of them, and a lot of damage inflicted to Ducklord Ra's forces, but he is almost able to equalize there by taking out a large force of there. No, we're not going to have a changeling in the middle of that. That would just be ridiculous. I don't recall building a zealot right here. Huh. All right, okay, Corruptors. What are you going to do with Corruptors? What are you going to do when they come for you, in fact? Well, like I say, is he looking for that upgrade all the way through? He could be. Bear in mind, to get that, he needs the Infestation Pit. He can't build it without the Infestation Pit. He was a little bit late on that. He does have the money for it, though, certainly. So if he pumps out some more of those, he could bring some Broodlords to bear. That would be pretty dangerous against Ducklord Ra. Like I said, I don't really see Broodlords deployed all that much. They are very pricey. They're often the go-to weapon when your Terran player is just entrenched and can't be asked to go anywhere. So you just break out the Broodlords. Expansion-wise, you'll also notice that EG Machine has nailed 2 more, so he is expanding with great gusto right here. That one finally taken out. He's able to get rid of that single little Zergling. A counter-attack here by Ra. Wants to... Yes, there we go. Take out that Overlord. That's good stuff. And that will... Ooh, yes, he has managed to supply block him right there. No more forces coming in right there, but the blink being used to great effect. Look at the harassment right there. He's going for those evolution chambers, looking to cancel that research. Looking to get one. He takes one. But here come the reinforcements. And the thing is, Ducklord Ra will be able to blink right out of that. There you go. Minimal losses. And he's able to take out at least one of those evolution chambers and cancel one of the upgrades. It's a shame it wasn't all that far in. He's got his High Templar moving in to back them up. There's the Hive upgrade. Are we going to see those Broodlords? Well, we don't have too many up right yet. Only 2 so far, so maybe not too many. There you go. More blink and aggression going in on that expansion. But here comes the Swarm from the side. Doesn't want to let that one go away. Oh, no sirree. He's got Stalkers. He's got Corruptors in the air. I have to wonder if they're just to absorb a little bit of extra damage there for the time being. It took a few shots there from the Stalkers. Take a little bit of that DPS on something that can take it and doesn't have to worry too much about that. There you go. Hive is on its way and it will be up in 40 seconds time. He has showed his Corruptors to his opponent, so I have to wonder if that was a deliberate move and he might instead decide to go for Ultralisks, which could be a reasonable bet against his opponent right now. What is his opponent doing? Well, Ra's falling back and trying to simply build up his economy right now. See, he's got a nice selection right there in terms of his Stalkers mixed up with some Zealots right there. More aggression coming in right here from Machine. Oh, look at that. There's the Psystorm dealing massive damage. 1, 2, and 3 slicing their way through large forces and contingents of Hydralisks. Machine takes big damage right there, and he's still trying to hold up, and another Psystorm takes a massive chunk out of the line. There's the blink to finish them off. Oh, wow. Yeah, nicely done. Nicely done indeed. Can he take some Corruptors with him? Yes, he can take 1. Can he take 2? He's looking to do it. Yes, he can. There you go. No Broodlords for you today, he says. However, what have we got? Well, we've got Ventral Sacs, so we're looking for some Overlord drops. Yes, indeed. Pick him up with the Overlord, drop him into the base, do some big damage. Ra's not going to let that happen. No, he's going to counterattack, absolutely. Why wouldn't he? Those Hydras are dead. Yep, here come the reinforcements to try and back them up. He doesn't want to face off against that many roaches. Do you really blame him? He's got 30 on the ground. They're not all there. Some of his contingent's actually hanging around here. You'll notice the Overlord's right there, and he's waiting for the Ventral Sax upgrade to complete. Great Aspire is coming up, so he's going to look for some Broodlords. After losing those initial Corruptors, I had my doubts there, but considering how long this game's going on, having something like a Siege Breaker like that would be a good idea. Here we go, looking for a surround right here. So you've got Hydras waiting, just waiting, but it's a nice move there because he's able to slip between the two forces and use his superior mobility to get that effect. But those Roaches move so incredibly fast now with the upgrade, especially on creep. He has the harassment on the mineral line, but he's going to lose those Stalkers right there. He's surrounded from all sides. Can he get away? Can he get away? Look at how many! Look at how much damage! So many Stalkers lost there. He's able to sneak away, and I think as well he manages to spot those Overlords as he goes past. So maybe he's thinking, drop strategy coming in maybe. So we might want to avoid that. Armor upgrade coming up right here. Great Aspire coming up right here. Where are those Corruptors? None on the way right now. Investing purely in ground units for the time being, because look at this. Sneaky stuff, folks. No Nidus Worm happening, and indeed it's a shame, because he could probably do quite a bit of damage here with the Nidus Worm at the back, but he's looking for the drop instead with the Overlords. There's a force to be reckoned with. The sky is darkened. Actually, no, it's not. The sky is pinkened with the Overlords as they look for a drop into the main base. The aggression from EG Machine just never, ever letting up right here. The defense forces moving in. WhiteRa spots it as he goes past with the observers. He's going to try and blink his way up there and try and stop that from happening. It's not going to happen, though. He doesn't have the numbers, and he knows it. He's going to lose a lot here. Focusing now on the pylons as EG Machine. He's got a cannon right there. 1 and 2 with a Side Storm and a 3 and a 4, but those High Templar have now been annihilated and more units on their way. How much damage is he able to inflict here? Well, not as much as I would actually expect, honestly. Not able to really focus on the production build. He's not able to focus on the pylons. Another storm right there. And that force of Zealots able to slice their way through the Roaches. Oh, so much damage being inflicted there. More Roaches continuing to fire. But in reality, that attack was blunted extremely skillfully there by WhiteRa. And not too much damage done at all for him. Look at that. Look at the losses right there. EG Machine now way, way behind in terms of units lost. This is a meat grinder, ladies and gentlemen. And is that not what you wanted to see? Baneling Nest coming up right here for EG Machine. Still no sign. Oh, there we go. 2 Corruptors coming up. Possibly looking for those Brood Lords. I would imagine that's what you're going for. Level 2 Protoss Ground Armor and Level 1 Protoss Shields. Protoss Shields not an upgrade that is particularly popular. Simply because of the price, really. But bear in mind that you can just get both, and it's nice nonetheless. Oh, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. 5 Brood Lords on their way, and 2 more Corruptors to back them up. But what does he have on the ground? Well, he's got 31 more Roaches, so he does have a significant force. Are we going to drop in the middle? We're going to lose them right there. No, 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 no. Not good, not good. Oh, I lost a bunch of forces there completely unnecessarily. It was a nice catch there by WhiteRa. And there again, once a Side Storm. Side Storm whittling away at the Roaches' health, driving them away right here. But the thing is, look at that. He doesn't want to go into that at all. Did he spot that? Oh, he spotted them now. No doubt about that. Zealots wishing they were never born as they are eaten alive by those Brood Lords. It's a lot of Stalker firepower, though. Bear that in mind. Those Broodlords could be taken apart if he's not too clever with them. But this is EG Machine. Of course he's going to be clever with them. Gonna have to be very careful. WhiteRa flanks around the side. Once again with that potent force of Stalkers. Good upgrades on all. Look at that. Level 3 particle disruptors on those things. In from the side. They come, and there's the blink. There's the blink right into the middle of them. 1 down. That's expensive. That's pricey. It's a good move. WhiteRa holds it back for the last moment, and look at the brutality he's able to inflict right there on the Broodlords. And oh, wow, wow. So much damage being inflicted. He's losing a lot of Stalkers for it. Was it worth it? Arguably it was. Yes, it was. Look at it. Look at the amount of damage. Look at the amount of money that he had to spend in order to do that. Yes, it was definitely worth it. No doubt about that. Broodlord force destroyed. EG Machine down to a mere 2. He is building more Corruptors in order to sort them out. He's getting some upgrades. Adrenal glands coming out, folks. Yes, adrenal glands. Oh, yes. It's nice to see that. That will give you some even faster attacking Zerglings. And we've also got the Banelings there as well. Looking to get in on the action. Little cutie Banelings. And they will do good against this force, I would think. It depends, though. And bear in mind that WhiteRa has great micromanagement. And if they try and use the Banelings on the Stalkers are going to be going, lol, no, blink, and then run the hell away. He's going to need the Centrifugal Hooks upgrade if he doesn't have it already. I didn't see him upgrading it, but then again, he could have snuck it in there for good measure while I wasn't looking. Is it possible? It could be. Where are those Banelings? Right, there we go. We've got Baneling cocoons right there. It's a scent of what I like to call the Overlord bombing mission right here. Look at this. Coming across the map. Is he going to catch him? That could be bad. I don't want that. EG Machine doesn't want anywhere near that. He's going to lose an expansion right here, but again, not a huge deal. It's a nice swarm right there. Here come the Broodlords in for the back. He's going to need a good blink, but he has Roach firepower here as well. No speed upgrade for the Banelings. There's the blink and the Psystorm at the combination. 1, 2, and 3. Rips apart that force of Roaches right there, but still taking huge damage. He's not able to do too much right there. He's still trying to push his way through there. Banelings negated. Nice Psystorm there. Banelings negated by the Psystorm in trying to inflict as much damage as he can on those Broodlords. More Psystorm at the rear. Still taking horrendous losses to bring down the Broodlords right there. It is carnage, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I would call it. Absolute and complete total carnage. Yeah, that's what we like to see. Units lost. The gap is narrowing, but more Broodlords being thrown away. They're inflicting good damage, but they cost so very much. They have to take so many with them in order for that to be viable. Spore-Crawler, Spine-Crawler coming up as well to defend with that, and Colossi finally on their way for Duckload-Ra. Don't really blame him for that, honestly. Big Colossi firepower with the extended Thermal Lance upgrade would benefit him immensely right now against those Roaches, and he knows it. Yes, indeed. Do big area of effect damage, slice your way through there, and yes, they don't gain anything against armored units, but still, with the level 3 upgrade, it's pretty significant damage nonetheless. They're also great against slicing up large forces of Banelings that are coming in at you. I'm surprised not to see centrifugal hooks yet. Still haven't seen anything from that. Those Banelings were negated very well there by Ra, so again, I'm just surprised that he wouldn't bother with the upgrade. We might see that one later. More Banelings. Wow, that is an awful lot of Banelings, isn't it? Yes, it's going to be fun to see those ones go off. And he's even got a ground carapace upgrade, which might help him a little bit. Flanking force of primarily Zealots, Stalkers, and a couple of Colossi there for good measure to back him up. And a couple of High Templar in there. They've proven to be very effective thus far in softening up the Zerg lines. Here comes the flanking force once again, but the blink is on it. Does he have the ground force? He's going to lose one right there for no reason. That's a freebie. There you go. Driven away once again very effectively. Those Broodlords not really doing an amazing job so far against Ra. He's going to need to vary things up a bit, I feel. Zerg Flyer Carapace level 2 coming up to try and negate some of that damage that's coming in. Do you really blame him? Wants those things to live? I mean, how many has he lost so far? Still, the gap is narrowing right now. It really is. Duckload-Ra looking very strong, but he's losing more and more and more units. So eventually, if he's not careful, he might end up in a huge, huge problem. Bear this in mind, folks, all expansions have been taken. Let's do a comparison, shall we? EG Machine is streaming ahead in terms of his economy right now, both in terms of gas and in terms of minerals mined. It's difficult, because where do you attack from? Broodlords take that out, no problem about that, but at least he knows where the Broodlords now are. Duckload-Ra looking for some more harassment on the Broodlords. Will EG Machine repulse it? No, he won't! Still, again, those caught out of position there. And Duckload-Ra takes full advantage of it every time he possibly can. Do you really blame him? Centrifugal hooks finally coming up for those Banelings. He has so many. He has 38 of the delicious Banelings. So, would you really blame him for getting the speed upgrade? I'm surprised they didn't get it sooner, honestly. And again, he is going against primarily a Stalker force, so hey, you never know. 3 Colossi. Oh yes, 3 Colossi backed up by 18 Stalkers and 3 High Templars. 9 Zealots in the mix as well. More High Templar warping in. Shield upgrades. More shield upgrades coming in. That is quite the army. Yes. Yes, indeed it is. I'm looking forward to seeing what exactly happens when that gets thrown against a wall of pain. It's going to be fun for everyone concerned. Broodlord's looking for more harassment. Mineral line. Mineral line is good. Duckload-Ra sees it coming a mile away, though. And, of course, bear in mind, those Colossi are a good defense against the Broodlings. They're able to slice them up very quickly. Broodlings don't have a lot of HP. Psystorm right in the middle of the Broodlords. Not enough to do too much damage as of yet. Blinking from the side. Not losing all that much in terms of the mineral line, but still, not too bad. Able to restrict Duckload-Ra's income, so there's nothing wrong with that. Duckload-Ra falling slightly behind in terms of minerals right now. You'll also notice you've got these 3 little overlords right here. I'm surprised we don't get any drops in the middle. Then, bear in mind that, how many cannons you've got right there. Here it comes, folks. Here is the decision maker. Unfortunately, he just lost a bunch of Banelings for no reason right there. Psystorm annihilates it. Wow, yeah, Duckload-Ra holds off an immense force right there. EG Machine getting taken apart at this point in time. Duckload-Ra forcing his way in. Broodlords taken apart. Units lost. Yeah, the gap is starting to widen once again. It's a good defense. A very good defense there. EG Machine just throwing his units into the grinder right now, trying to find an opening in the defenses of his opponent. He's not getting it right now, though. He really isn't. Harassment not too effective. Those bases are secure right now. Man, this is a long one, isn't it? Yes, it is. Here comes the firepower from the side. Extended thermal lancers slicing through the air, doing some damage to the mineral line. That's not enough roaches. No way. That is not enough roaches to deal with that force. And EG Machine realizes that, backs himself away. That expansion's doomed. This is decisive here from Ra. A lot of firepower coming in from those Colossi. That expansion's gone. He can't mine anything from that. No, no, sirree, he cannot. It's bad for him. Both opponents now drained in terms of minerals, mining out significant portions of the map. Here comes the flanking maneuver from the roaches, and they eat Psy Storms, the likes of which you've never seen. But it's not quite good enough. EG Machine very quick on the ball, focusing fire. One Colossi goes down. Can he do a second? No, no, it doesn't. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. There you go, but losing so many roaches in the process. Oh, yes, and more roaches coming in from the side right now, annihilating Ra's force quite quickly. Oh, wow, Ra's in a corner right now. He's going to lose them, the Corruptors. So many Corruptors this time around to counter those Colossi. Not even bothering to turn them into Broodlords this time. Looking to just simply have a good aircraft Colossi killing force, and they did a exceptional job. Caught his opponent off guard there. Didn't really have too much of a counter to it. Those Stalkers already annihilated. Now switching out for some Broodlords. This is what I'd be concerned about right now. The forces of Ra are not looking all that strong, and he has already mined out his main base. He's mined out this expansion almost. He's mined out this expansion as well. This expansion is very drained, and Ra, you're being covered in creep there. That's unfortunate. Machine dumping some creep around there just for good measure, and indeed, why not? Another expeditionary force of roaches. Honestly, if I was going to call this at this point, I would call this in the favor of Machine. Simply because Machine has a bigger army. Yes, I know, it's shocking, isn't it? It's not all that technical, but he's got more units. And he's managed to box in Ra right there, but I have to wonder if that was just a trap to take out a couple of Broodlords. Ra sacrificing some Stalkers. He only takes one Broodlord out there, though, so that's not too good at all. EG Machine pushing his way in, and that expansion's toast. No doubt about that. Couple of Colossi in the air. Where are those Corruptors? He needs to find those Corruptors very, very rapidly indeed if he wants to take those out in quick succession. Warp in from Stalkers there, and still the Broodlords inexorably advance. Here we go, the range on the Broodlords being played into Machine's advantage right here. As his roaches are driven off after an initial attack. More Broodlords coming in from the side. That's not enough. Stalkers from the side, taken apart. Nibble, nibble, nibble on the kneecaps of those Stalkers. One Colossi down, looking for two. Can we get two? No, we can't. No, we can't. He's still in there, though. Wow, I tell you what, WhiteRa loves to sacrifice his forces, but he does so very, very well. Oh, yeah. Yes, only got some speedlings coming in from the side right there to finish off that particular expansion. So Ra's income is being starved right now, and you can see the difference. There's a huge difference right here. He can't take that expansion, whereas EG Machine has a hold of this high yield right here. This is going to be the deciding factor, in my honest opinion. He's not letting up right now. Ra with a brave defense. A absolutely fantastic defense. But it's not enough. He simply does not have the numbers. The roaches driving Ra all the way back into his base. Broodlords. And, oh, we're looking for a Baneling drop. Yes, there we go. Baneling drop into the mineral line. 1, 2, and 3. And there's the reason why he put the creep down there. Just to get a little bit of extra speed. Now, he is starving his opponent out right here. He's looking to try and destroy his sources of income, force his opponent to give up, and it's looking solid so far. Those photon cannons are doing a particularly good job against the Broodlords, and indeed, why would they? They don't have the range. They're getting nibbled on right here, and the roaches now pushing their way in with 3 upgrades on either side. Good game! Good game! Ra finally gives it up after an absolutely fantastic, a stunning and stellar match between Ra and EG Machine. Machine takes it. Well done indeed. Absolutely unbelievable.